this time, for this exercise, I'm actually going to create multiple recordings that tell you how to do it, just so you don't have to sit through and watch one whole recording at once and probably forget half of what you listen to. So we'll just do a little bit first, then you can start the project, and then you can come back, watch a second video, and do a little bit more. In the folder for refurnishing, there's actually a little PDF file that kind of tells you what you're going to do and what you're going to put in. Basically, you're just going to assemble and decorate your own room, and you're going to use at least 5 pieces of furniture in the artwork. All right. Each piece must be on a separate layer. Let's take a look. You can use the layer mask to hide the original background. Don't delete any pixels. You want to add a rug or other floor covering somewhere. Name each layer with the descriptive layer. Change the colors of the walls non-destructively, which means you have to create a color layer for the wall, and add the color to the wall, and then use the blend mode to kind of put them in together. The blend mode we were using for walls that I demoed was the color blend mode. You could try one of the other ones too. Multiply works kind of nicely sometimes. This is not optional. This is required. You want to add at least one person or animal or something alien that you think might fit nicely in the room. Put some wallpaper on the wall or some wood paneling or stone on one of the walls, not all of the walls. Pick one piece of furniture or fixture and you want to recolor it with a separate layer. And you want to link groups of things together that do go together. So say you have a dog sitting on a couch and you know they're going to be together, you might want to move them around at times. I want you to group those things together, just like in the one earlier assignment where we had the 3 photographs from the photographers and we had to tack them up on the board with like thumbtacks, and you actually had a border too. You made the border, the photo, and the thumbtacks. They were all together, and you should have linked them all together too. So you want to do that with at least one thing, okay? And you want to add a shadow to something. There's a lot of ways of adding shadows, and I'll show you 2 ways of adding a shadow. There's actually an effect that actually does a drop shadow, which is really easy. And you can also even just create another layer and use a black or a gray paintbrush to like draw in your own shadow on another layer that you can apply a blend mode to. But this is the document that kind of tells you what to do. Technically, I usually don't give very explicit directions, but I'm going to. I'm going to give some directions. I'm not going to tell you step by step what you're going to do. I'm going to tell you a couple of the techniques you should use. Okay? So we'll stop that right now, close this up, save some memory on my computer, and we'll go into Photoshop. And you have 2 rooms you can choose from. Okay? Whoops. Yeah, a slightly more complex room. It's got a little separate room in there. I've had a lot of students do pretty creative things with this, but there's a lot of stuff you want to clean up. Like this roof is pretty ugly. The carpet's pretty ugly. There's a little bit of furniture showing up there. You might want to get rid of these outlets, maybe with using the clone stamp tool. You could do something totally different inside this room. You could actually make it an exterior. You could actually just mask it off, and whatever you put outside can actually be there too. Or you can make it like something completely different. You know, it could be a torture room or something if you're feeling macabre. But whatever. Pick the room you want. And these are 2 examples that past students have done. Okay. This student did actually put 2 characters in there. They didn't do any drop shadows. Fairly simple, but you know, well done for what they did. Probably a B project. This one's kind of cool too, but they didn't put people in there. Things are kind of crooked. Like this lamp is a little bit warped. They didn't use the edit transformation options too well on that one. This is a nice touch right here, the light. But what they could have done is make this yellow go up a little higher and put it behind the lamp, so you don't have this little edge here. I like the fact that they used a gradient on the ceiling and they didn't use just the typical ones, but maybe this wasn't the best place for this gradient. But I like the colors a lot, and one thing they did really nicely is they took the window, made a copy of it, and brought it over here. So you had multiple windows on this wall. If you just have one window, you kind of get a little bit limited. And remember, you can remove entire walls and make it an exterior. You can do a lot of different things. Just don't, you know, just don't do something really simple, like one big picture on this wall, one big picture on that wall, one big thing there, a piece of furniture, and then you think you're done. Whatever you do, you have to make it look good. Okay? So this is just the basic overall, and you can start a little bit if you want, maybe getting some of the stuff, coloring some of the walls if you know how to do it. If you're still kind of lost, watch the next video.